for boring. Where you can feast with the nectar of the gods. You'll always have a seat at Norse Hall.
Welcome, everybody, to Top Dog Coverage, where you can find some of the greatest football news, football stats, football scouting, and soon enough, one day, football film. We will be getting into that as well. But today, we are going to let the Wheel of Destiny choose yet another two teams, one from the AFC, one from the NFC. The last video we did, Oakland Raiders. Not really, because they're the Las Vegas Raiders, and I keep
there we go.
And the Green Bay Packers. So if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe, like, comment, swipe up if you're listening to this on Spotify, Apple. Leave your comments, hit the 5 stars, make sure that everything is dandy. Okay, if you're not following us at Top Dog Coverage on YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, please do. Type those in, hit it, and let's get it started. C-Dub, how you feeling, baby?
Feeling great. Feeling ready to rock with this one.
Ready to rock. Well, if we're going to get ready to rock, we might as well rock with the news, baby.
Hey, before we get into news, though,
yeah,
where can I get some good hot sauce and mead?
It's funny you asked that. Because you can get it at north-hall.com, which is our sponsor that brings the news. And also FGM Label, if you want some great tunes. That is who is sponsoring the news today. north-hall.com for your mead and your hot sauce, and if you want some great tunes for your ears, let it happen, baby. FGM Label at Instagram. So
a good tune for your head top, you know?
Yeah. Y'all know?
But
all right. You want to start? You want to start us off?
Yeah. So this story came out from Adam Schefter earlier today, the Shefty. But basically, Isaiah Bond, who is a rookie in this year's class, he declared for the draft, went undrafted due to some legal issues, has been deemed non-billed and faces no further criminal charges, according to his agent. So Shefty made the announcement probably a little over an hour ago or so. And shortly after that, Isaiah Bond signed with the Cleveland Browns. So the former Texas receiver is now a Cleveland Brown.
That is pretty wild, considering they have more wide receivers over there than we think.
Yeah, I wasn't really the place that I even thought of first, or that I thought he would go. You know, we talked about, hey, San Francisco, they got receivers dropping left and right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we thought he was a well-known prospect. We want him for our respective teams as well, but he chose Cleveland.
All right. Well, I mean, staying within Cleveland, okay, Browns running back Quinshon Judkins will not face charges, okay? Judkins will be available to the Browns as planned in 2025. The rookie running back will not face charges following his investigation into allegations of domestic violence. An arrest took place in Florida 1 month ago on charges of battery and domestic violence. The counts in question were a first-degree misdemeanor and led to investigations on the part of the Browns themselves and the NFL. Prosecutors will not move forward with the case, however, allowing Judkins to join the team soon. The league's probe into the matter will continue. Okay, so Judkins should be back in the fold shortly. The 21-year-old is the last unsigned member of this year's draft class, with attention being focused on his criminal proceedings. As of late July, Browns owner Jimmy Haslam was cautiously optimistic as resolution would take place, allowing for Judkins to suit up.
Yeah, it's good news for him. Let's keep it within that running back realm.
Mm.
Let's take it up to Buffalo. Where the Buffalo Bills and James Cook agreed to an extension. So the Bills have reached an agreement with running back James Cook on a 4-year contract extension, per ESPN's Adam Schefter. The deal has a base value of $48 million with $30 million in guaranteed money. So Cook's $12 million average per year is the 6th highest among running backs, and his guarantees only trail Saquon Barkley and Ashton Genty's rookie contract. So he will now be under contract with Buffalo through the 2029 NFL season.
Somebody's getting paid, baby. Somebody is getting paid.
Yeah, and initially during the spring, he kind of demanded that he wanted to get $15 million per year, but looks like they settled on that $12 million range. So pretty good deal for Buffalo.
Yeah, it's not too bad at all. Let's go over to guard Brandon Scherff retiring. So Brandon Scherff remains unsigned deep into the free agent, and no late summer deals will be forthcoming in his case. So the Pro Bowl guard has retired. No announcements have been made on Scherff's part with respect to a decision on his future. However, a summary of his induction into the Iowa Athletics Hall of Fame notes he retired this summer. The 33-year-old statement reflecting on his playing days confirms his career is over. It's been something I could never dream of, Scherff said of his NFL tenure. Sometimes I would tell my wife that she has to pinch me because I'm playing a kid's game, and being able to do it as a job is pretty amazing. Now, having kids and being able to see them after games is absolutely wonderful. So I would say it's a dream come true, and I will be forever grateful to have had that chance. So the 5th overall pick of the 2015 draft, Scherff immediately took on starting duties in Washington. His run in the Nationals capital spanned 7 years and included 5 Pro Bowl campaigns. Scherff's only All-Pro nod came in 2020. That year marked the first of 2 consecutive seasons where the franchise tag was in place.
What a great career.
Yeah. Good old Scherff, man. He was a great player. Great player. Shout outs to him.
Oh, yeah. He was a stud in the interior offensive line.
Yeah, man. So, dare I say it?
Is it that time?
Time for the Wheel of Destiny, baby. All right. Who are you thinking, Whisk?
Which one are we going for first? NFC?
NFC. We're going to go with the NFC first. Who are you thinking?
You got to give me the wheel. I gotta feel it. I gotta see it before I make my suggestion.
It's dwindling. It's dwindling.
It's getting smaller and smaller here, huh? You know what? I'm going to go with Chicago.
Chicago? Okay, I think we're going to grab one of these NFC East teams here. And I think it's going to be the Philadelphia Eagles.
You know what? Hold on. Let's start with the AFC.
We did the AFC last time.
I know, but let's just do it.
I
just got a feeling we should do AFC first.
All right. You and your conundrums over here. All right.
Yeah, I can feel it in the gut. All right. And I'm going Titans.
You're going Titans. You already used your free spin.
Yep.
Okay. All right. All right. So, I think it's going to be Steelers.
Okay.
What do you
They're
think?
right next to each other. I mean,
Titans to Steelers. All right. Ready?
Spin it. Let's
All right.
roll. Ooh. Ooh.
Oof. Miami Dolphins.
Miami.
The Miami Dolphins, my friend. Okay.
Okay.
All right. You ready?
I'm sticking with Bears. Yep.
Sticking with Bears.
And it's not
Eagles.
because they just played each other in the preseason.
Oh, I am taking my spin. I'm taking my spin.
All right.
All right.
We'll
Taking my
save
spin.
that for
So we
another
have no
time.
more spins left. We have no more takebacks.
No more take backsies. Wait. Oh, we forgot to take Green Bay off, but yeah, that's fine.
Did we? We're supposed to update. That's okay. All right. So
Yeah.
we'll take Green Bay. Pop. And then Dallas
We landed
Cowboys.
on Dallas. Yeah, Dallas and Miami.
Okay. Let me just make sure that we have how many we got? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, good. All right. Who are we starting with?
Let's go to South Beach. Let's spend some time down in Miami.
All right. So a lot of back end help on this defense that they did a lot of free agency with. But what I will say is they got a great first round pick in Kenneth Grant.
Stud.
So, and they needed that. They needed some help on there. So, but what I will say is, for me, if I'm looking at this, it is more of the secondary that I'm looking at to see who's getting what here. So if we're gonna look at the secondary on their defense, the Miami Dolphins, I am interested in who they have. They've signed Ifeatu Melifonwu from Detroit. They traded for Minka Fitzpatrick, Kendall Sheffield. They signed from the Jets, and Cincinnati's Mike Hilton, the nickelback corner. But they also got another safety, Nashon Davis from the Jets, and they have some guys, Jack Jones and Cornell Armstrong, and they drafted Dante Trader Jr. in the 5th round from Maryland. So they're trying to get that defense back to where back to where they would like it. It's usually that offense that takes over. So I think, I'm looking at it, I really think that they're trying to upgrade that secondary and sorry, there we go. Upgrade that secondary a little bit so that they can have a little bit more of a chance when, say, if it comes down to a shootout, you know what I mean? So I'm really looking at those kind of camp battles that they have over there. They do have Duck Storm. I'm not saying that he was, wildly, impressive, but, they did draft him from Louisville last year, and that's kind of their, their left corner over there. And their linebackers and defensive line are getting a little bit better. You know what I mean? Each year it doesn't look like it, but it is, it is getting a little bit better. But I'm focusing on that those camp battles for that secondary.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a great place to start. I think one thing when you really look at this defense or really just look at this team as a whole, the kind of perception about them is they're more of a finesse team, kind of, dare we say it, soft,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, no, that's
You know?
exactly what people think of them.
So that's why you bring in just a monster in the middle like a Kenneth Grant. They can play that left defensive end spot in your 3-4 defense. You bring in Jordan Phillips that can be a nose tackle for you. You double dip. You bring in Zach Biggers that can in the 7th round that can also play nose tackle, right? And you add a couple pieces in the secondary like you talk about, Jason Marshall Jr., Dante Trader Jr. I mean, they really wanted to bring in that attitude and that toughness to this team, right? So
Yeah,
over, Melifonwu from Detroit to pair up with Ashton Davis coming over from your New York Jets, right?
yeah,
Fitzpatrick, you bringing him back to Miami, can it kind of be that tone setter, that leader of the defense? You also bring over Kendall Sheffield from the Jets, Jack Jones, and Mike Hilton. He's just been a pro's pro. Like,
yeah.
he's been all over from Pittsburgh, been with Cincinnati the last few seasons. So you bring in a lot of experience, a lot of veteran leadership to that defense. So it's going to be interesting to see how quickly, how soon can the team pivot from the misconception that they were soft and they're a finesse team to being more of a hard nosed kind of can win in any weather type team.
Yeah, I mean, they spent 3 fifth-round picks strictly on defense there, you know,
Mhm.
and that's nothing to sneeze at. Like, I'm not saying that fifth-round picks should be like, oh, they're starters, but they're trying to get these young kids in. They're trying to get everybody rocking and rolling. So if you're going to tell me that you drafted the first round on your defensive end, then your nose tackle in the fifth, and a cornerback in the fifth, and another safety in the fifth. You're trying to make something happen. You know what I mean? And not only that, that's I'll go a little sideways here, but then even after you did that, that's when you get Ollie Gordon the second, in the sixth, and he's nothing to sneeze at either. He talented kid, but they focused on their defense first. So I give it to them that they're trying to do that. Not to mention last year, who they got? And they get
Yeah, Chop Robinson.
Chop Robinson. You know what I mean? So it's little by little they're trying to make these things happen. You know what I mean? I think Chop Robinson, even though he's looked upon as a depth player at this point, it's more of a rotational, and I think
Well, he
they're
has a lot
slowly.
of juice to that pass rush.
Absolutely does.
I think he was a stud at Penn State, and I think he's still just kind of getting his feet wet, learning the NFL game. I think there was some sort of injury scare at practice the other day, but I think he
Hmm.
came out and said that he's going to be fine. So I think he got carted off, but that's another piece that they're going to be leaning on to make sure you be able to get after the passer, especially in the AFC. I mean, the AFC's got all the great quarterbacks right now, majority of the
Yeah.
great quarterbacks, should I say?
I mean, they still, and that's the thing. Like, even though their defense was actually ranked that middle part of the graph, I think it's like 18th, 19th last year, and I think this kind of, I don't know. I think it kind of brings them up a little bit. You know what I mean? I think it can get them to even keel, maybe 15th, 14th, something around there. Maybe they're given the concentration on it. They put some more depth behind Duck, Sheffield, and they're ready to rock and roll with that. Does it look like they can make a run again? Possibly. I personally, if I think the locker room is the problem on that team. It's not so much the depth. It's not so much the what I mean. What we're looking at on charts. I think it's more the locker room of what's happening over there because they have talent.
Yeah, and I mean, not being in the locker room, I mean, we don't exactly know what goes on there. Going
Hmm.
base it off of what's reported, what we've heard, but I think there's a lot more pressure on this offense than there is the defense because I think without a lot of the injuries and a lot of the stuff that happened last year, I think the defense could have been even better than they finished.
Yeah,
Right? Because you're banking on the health of Tua. You make the trade for bringing over Darren Waller from the Giants, coming out of retirement and coming back to play tight end for them. So uh, you don't really know what's going to happen with his team, especially with Tyreek Hill.
yeah.
He's arguably probably would you say is their best player?
With Tyreek,
Yeah, at least their number one option in the
I
passing game.
mean, I mean, yeah. I mean, I think it's really hard to say no to that, right? I mean, the guy is still elite. He's still a burner. It doesn't matter if we're gonna be real here, is Tyreek Hill slowly regressing? He is, but he's but
Yeah,
even his
Hill's
regression is still,
regression is still one of the fastest guys in the league.
yeah, he is. He is.
Yeah,
Like you can see that it's not
absolutely.
the same of what he used to be, but he could still take on anybody on that field.
Yeah. So I think figuring out the Hill situation, like
Hmm.
he either needs to he needs to figure out, do you want to be a part of this team or do you want to go back or do you want to be off this team? Like, I mean, with the comments they made at the end of last season and these press conferences, you know more about it than I do. I think you sent it to me the other day, but like going off and talking about stuff within the press conference, they got to figure it out. Like you got to keep some of that stuff in house,
Yeah.
like especially as one of the team leaders. Like, come on, like we're out here trying to compete and grow and get better to compete for a Super Bowl or at least
Hmm.
compete for a division,
Yeah.
right? Like you gotta get on the same page.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I agree with that. And I will say this though. Their offensive line was really like their offense was ranked to 25th last year. Okay, overall they were 23rd, but their offensive line, this is where you want to see them. Can Patrick Paul take a step up? You know, he was a round 2 last year. Can he take that step up? You know what I mean? Because and step into that left tackle position. Can Jonah Saviania, I can never say his name right. Can
close
he
enough.
can he step into that left guard position? Brewer excellent center, by the way. Okay.
Came over
Aaron
from
Brewer.
Tennessee.
Uh-huh.
Came over from Tennessee.
Yeah. And not for nothing. I mean he's got really good rankings. And then you have James Daniel, you know. So that right side is the right side is looking pretty good in the center part, except for Jackson. Austin Jackson still needs to be proven himself since that 2020. You know what I mean? That's technically considered to his blind side. You
Yeah,
know, so
yeah.
if they can find somebody to do that, and now you have Waller, but Waller is not really going to be that blocker over there. He's
We
that
don't
guy
know
that,
what Waller's going to be, especially how many years removed has he been from the NFL? 2, 3?
I mean, Waller.
Yeah.
I think it was just one.
Has he only been retired for a year?
I think so.
But he dealt with a lot of injuries in New York before he retired, right? So
Oh
he
yeah,
missed a
yeah,
lot of
absolutely.
games. So
Yeah,
it's been a while since he's played meaningful football, since he was that guy that we saw on the Raiders. So you hope that he can come in and kind of provide that spark. But I mean, this tight
so
end room is interesting, we'll say.
yeah, and this offensive line just has me kind of like it's a roller coaster. You'd be like Daniels, Patrick Paul, Brewer, Jackson, the new kid. We don't know. Like it you can't get too hurt again. You need to protect this kid, and you have weapons like Tyreek Hill. You have weapons like A Chain. You like it hurts me to see that it's like they only got the one offensive lineman, and it's like I think we need more. You know, but that's my opinion. So it's interesting to see how that pans out as well as that offensive line.
Yeah, and we don't know what their draft plan was going into it. We don't know where they value their guys at and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, you bring in a few free agents, you draft a guy. I mean, you really hope to see them add more assets to kind of help protect Tua,
Yeah.
considering that's your main guy that is going to help make the franchise get back to the promised land, get back to the playoffs, right? And
Hmm.
I still have a lot of question marks on this offensive line. Did they improve? I'm not really sure. I don't really know. Yeah, you'd hope so, but at the same time, don't really
Yeah.
know. It's tough to say because you want to see Tua healthy. You don't want to see anything happen to him, but I don't think they're putting him in the most advantageous position out there.
No, me neither. I
This is
mean,
also, I mean, just from a side note, I don't really want anything to do with this team in fantasy.
dude, I think I'm gonna pass right on with Tyreek Hill. I mean, unless I'm taking a flyer on him in the fourth, and even then, I don't even know if he's gonna be on a team by the end of it. You want my personal opinion? Is I don't think Mike McDaniel's lasts a year here.
It's unfortunate because I like McDaniel. I like him a lot.
He's got a lot of swag, that guy. Remember,
Well,
we met him. I met him at the combine. Cool
yeah,
guy.
yeah,
Met him
it's
twice.
really cool guy.
Once when he was sober, and another when he was hammered. So.
A really cool guy. He's definitely one that is really great in scheming up different type of run games.
Yeah.
Right. He's a great component of that. So I really hope he does, stick with the head coaching job. I hope they continue to believe in him, but no idea what's gonna happen with this team. But I mean, if you look across it, there's not too many battles. I'd say maybe a couple on the offensive line with your left guard with Jonah and then Eichenberg, it looks like he's hurt right now.
Right.
But you also have right guard. I mean, is James Daniels going to be the starter? Is Daniel Brunskill going to take that spot? I guess we'll find out. But tight end, I mean, you're assuming Darren Waller is going to be the starter, but you have the undrafted free agent Julian Hill from the 2023 class. Pharaoh Brown came over from Seattle, and a couple more undrafted free agent guys. So could be anybody's game there.
Pharaoh Brown's a good sized dude too.
Yeah. And I'd really like this running back room. We talked about Alexander Madison having to miss the rest of the season due to the neck injury. So prayers up to him. Hope he gets healthy and has a successful surgery. But this running back room, I mean, behind HN, I mean, he's kind of a smaller guy. So these are some guys you want to keep an eye on. But Jalen Wright, the second year back out of Tennessee, he's got good size, really good speed. And then you got Ollie Gordon II, who's like a thumper. He's got really good size. He was a beast at Oklahoma State.
Yeah.
And he looked good in the preseason. He looked physical. He was finishing runs. So
that's your third down back right there.
Well, yeah, that's definitely your goal line back, I'd say for sure.
Yeah.
Want to punch it in, get those hard-run touchdowns. But, yeah, I mean, this team's – for the kind of state that they're in, you would think there would be more camp battles.
Yeah, I hear you on that. It's but it's where they are. You know what I mean? This is honestly the do or die season. I feel it, and if it doesn't start off strong, they're not there. I just don't see it. I don't see Mike McDaniel's being here for the remainder of the season. That's my opinion.
Before we move on to the Cowboys, or before the schedule and whatnot, really looking at this receiver room. So say you take Tyreek Hill out of it, your number one is Jalen Waddle, and your number two is going to be what, Nick Westbrook-Ikine? Like, I don't really love their depth at receiver. I like Malik Washington. I think he's a great slot guy. We know what Jalen Waddle can do, despite I know there's a lot of people out there that took him in fantasy and were hurt very, very much by him. So, but I just don't really love the depth at receiver here.
Yeah, it's not flashy. It's not, you have bodies, but you don't have reliables.
Yeah, I guess you don't have more known guys at the position, which is fine. I mean, hopefully some of these guys develop and whatnot, but I don't know, it's just tough. Like if you move Tyreek Hill, it's tough to see the direction of where this receiver room's. Like they need to add more big time guys there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Could this be a potential spot that Odell comes back to? Does he come back to Miami? Not that he has that much left in the tank, but there are teams that are looking at him, and he's not retired.
49ers should be looking at him.
But I mean, he played there last year, so I think he would know the system.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, I would say that. But other than that, you want to go over to the prediction?
Yeah, we could do schedule.
We'll schedule action. Unless you have something else to talk about Miami.
No, I mean, I think Quinn Ewers, they took in the 7th round, former Texas quarterback. I think his skill set is really good for the Tua type of offense. He's just right-handed. So I really like his throws, the anticipation. He's dealt with quite a few injuries too in his college career, like oblique injuries and whatnot. He doesn't have the biggest arm,
Yeah.
but it is one that I would keep an eye on as he develops in that system. So
Fair enough. All
all
right,
right.
let's jump into it. 2025 Miami Dolphins. All right. Week 1, Miami is going to the Indianapolis, and you know what? Right off the bat, you're gonna think I'm wild and nuts here, but I think the Colts are gonna be fresh. I think they're gonna be good, and I think they're gonna take their first win, and the Miami is gonna take a loss. Week 2, Miami is going to host the Patriots, and I think that they're actually going to play fast, play good, and this is where it's going to get a little crazy, though. Vrabel's defense is going to be locked in. I'm going to take the Patriots on the road down in the heat. And week 3, going against the Buffalo Bills. I think they're going to go up to Buffalo. It's going to be a closer game than we think, but I think Buffalo takes it at home. They're going to start off 0-3. Week 4, the Jets going down to Miami. You ready for this? I think Miami is going to win, okay? Miami's going to take it against the Jets.
Whoa.
And then week 5, they're going to be playing the Panthers. And I think this is where they take a loss against the Panthers in week 5 in North Carolina. This is where I think Mike McDaniels gets fired, okay? This is where I think Mike McDaniels gets fired. The Chargers go down to Miami. They take a W on the road. Miami comes over to the Browns, and the Browns are hosting, and the Browns take the L. There's a win for Dolphins with a little bit new coaching. Falcons hosting the Dolphins week 8. They go in there. The Falcons take a W against the Dolphins. Week 9, the Ravens going down to face the Dolphins in the heat. I think the Ravens take a W there too. Week 10, the Dolphins hosting the Bills. The Bills go down there, take care of business yet again. That's 2 wins on them. Week 11, the Dolphins are hosting Washington. I believe that Washington is going to take a W against the Dolphins. Or the Commanders will take a win against the Dolphins. The bye week is 12. Week 13, the Dolphins are hosting the Saints. I think they take a win against the Saints there. Week 14, the Jets are hosting the Dolphins. I believe that they take an L against the Jets. Week 15, they go to Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh puts a whooping on them on week 15 in Pittsburgh. Week 16, Bengals go to the Dolphins, and the Bengals play and take a W in Miami. Week 17, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They are far too used to this heat. They are going to take a W against the Dolphins. And week 18, they're going to leave it all on the court. They're going to pull out all the tricks and the traits, and the Patriots are actually going to take an L at the end of the year. They're going to end this season with a 5-12 record. Miami Dolphins. That's what I got going on.
It's pretty bold there.
It is pretty bold.
So your hot take is McDaniel gets fired?
Yeah.
I'm going to go opposite. I think he keeps his job.
Okay.
And I don't think they go 5-12.
I just don't. I think that. I don't know. I just think that I know we're not in it, but I think that locker room is cracked. I think there's just too much going on in there, and you can hear it in Tyreek on how easy it is to say things in front of the media, and how easy it is for McDaniels to say stuff back. And I think there's a line and tension inside that locker room, and it's ready to be just completely obliterated. All right.
Fair enough.
Let's do that. Right. So
We're back.
we are back. Let's go to
Dallas.
Dallas. Sure.
The birthplace of your boy C-Dub.
There you go, C-Dub.
Yep. All my local family and friends are gonna roast me on this.
That's okay.
I traded
So
the
right off the
star.
bat, what are you looking at right off the bat here?
Well, first and foremost, back up the Brink truck. Get whatever banking system you need to pay Micah Parsons. Get all the bags cast. Hit it, Mr. Scrooge. I don't care. Parsons needs to get paid.
He does.
That is the engine to your defense. You bring in you promote Brian Schottenheimer as your head coach. You got Matt Eberflus coming over from the Bears, previous head coach over there.
Mhm.
And Bears always had pretty good defense until they gave up on them, right?
Yeah.
So, but you got some talent on this defense, right? You got to pay your leader. You got to get Parsons out there. But what really sticks out to me initially is this linebacking core. DeMarvion Overshawn, he's hurt, but he's a stud when he's in there. You bring over Kenneth Murray Jr. from Tennessee. Right now, he's slated to be your starting middle linebacker, former first-round pick, I believe, the Chargers. Then you have your third-round pick, Maurice Liafu, a third-rounder from last year.
Mm-hmm.
And you bring Jack Sanborn over from Chicago. And then some more depth pieces. You have Shamar James that you took in the 5th round, Damone Clark, who you took in the 5th round in 2022, and a couple more camp guys, excuse me. So that linebacking core, that linebacking room, who's going to stand up and be that guy? Right? Who's going to end up being the starting? Who's going to end up kind of taking on those starting roles and playing the most snaps?
Yeah.
So, I mean, that really sticks out to me. You add a couple more pieces overall in the defense. You bring in Kyer Elam with a trade from Buffalo, compete at that corner spot. Trayvon Diggs, and then there's been some challenges with him with his injuries and him not properly rehabbing or whatnot. So, is he going to be ready week 1? Because Elam didn't really look great with Buffalo. Maybe a change of scenery is all he needed, but that one kind of makes me a little nervous there. Yeah, Deron Bland, Siobhan Revel Jr., who we both really like coming out in the draft, the 3rd-round pick. I mean, hopefully he can come in and make some noise, be healthy for week 1 as well.
Yeah, they definitely got some guys here. I you have some injuries in Overshown right now, Diggs, and you want to see if these guys can step up, right? Elam definitely is going to have to step up here. You have your middle linebackers that were signed from Chicago and Tennessee, with Kenneth Murray and Jack Sanborn. Dante Fowler Jr. is going to have to step up if you don't give the bag to Parsons, right? And I'm just going to look at this team or this defense is very mediocre if they can't get Micah Parsons the bag and they can't bring that energy to that defensive line, because it's kind of showing that you got Dante Fowler, Solomon Thomas from the Jets, and then you made 2 draft picks. One in Donovan is Raku from Boston College, who was great. He was amazing. And then Jay Tiua from UCLA. It's a big defensive tackle, by the way. 342 pounds. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, these are guys in the depth, but at the same end, you need Parsons to set this, the standard here. You need him to come bursting off that edge in order for all these other starters on the line to make their plays. It's not just one guy that makes the plays. When you have to double team one guy, it allows everybody else to do their one-on-ones, you know what I mean? And beat their one-on-ones, or, give that opportunity out. But I think you're right. Like they need to pay this guy. It is a little concerning, looking at that. Maybe he does need to change the scenery, Elam. And, but you're already seeing injuries here. Siobhan Revel, Javon Diggs, Overshown. These are names that you want on there. Tyler Guyton, on the offense. So you want to see if they can get this defense rocking and rolling. There a couple of years back that this was a defense that what did Bland have? Six picks, right?
He had a lot of interceptions.
Yeah. So it's like,
But he
and you
was
want to
injured
throw.
most of last year too.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
I think one thing too. I mean, the loss of Demarcus Lawrence is
Mhm.
gonna be felt pretty hard, especially with Parsons not being paid right now. So you're gonna have to rely a lot on Marshawn Leland, their second round pick from last year,
Yeah.
Donovan Ezraku, their second round pick from this year.
Mhm.
Those guys paired with Dante Fowler Jr. are gonna have to come in and kind of be the main pass rush if you don't have Parsons out there right now.
Yeah.
So it puts a lot of pressure on them. And since Demarcus Lawrence is now in Seattle, yes, he was older, but he was still a productive player.
Yeah.
So
Something else I'm looking at this team too is, and it's right up your alley because I know you're going to want to talk about them, so I'll just make the introduction with them anyway. But is this running back room? Okay,
mhm.
like you have, I'm going to say this right now. By the end of this season, I think Jadon Blue and Phil Maffa are going to be the two starting running backs at the end of the season. You have Javonte Williams from Denver and Miles Sanders from Carolina. And then you have Jadon Blue, who was drafted in where you were big on this dude. You preached him before even the draft. Okay,
Yep,
Jadon Blue, and then people started,
my
from
guy.
Texas. Yeah. And then you have Phil Maffa, who from Clemson, 6'1", 234 pounds, a big dude. Okay. Did you hear what they said in one of the press conferences? They asked about Javonte Williams.
He had no juice.
And he's talking about, well, he's a really good teammate and he's good in the locker room. Yo, that right there is a
Like,
red flag. Okay,
and it goes a
that
long
you
way. Maybe Miami needs him.
maybe maybe. But I'm sorry, but at the end of this, if you're gonna take two guys that haven't performed in the past 2 years, now I'm not saying Javonte. Look, I know he had an ACL tear. I know he had his problems. He says he's here now. He's ready to rock and roll. He feels great. We still haven't seen it. Okay, and ever since Miles Sanders got that bag, he hasn't performed.
Yeah.
So I get that you have these two guys right here, but to me, those aren't sexy, sexy signings.
They're just veterans, right? They're just guys
Right.
that you have on the roster. Cam Battles. I mean, I was pretty excited. I like Javonte Williams a lot. It's unfortunate that he went through that injury. I
Yeah.
hope he can regain some of that form that he had. But I'm with you. I would much rather roll out with the young guys. Let's have our own thunder and lightning here. This is our version of Detroit's backfield with Montgomery and Gibbs. All right, you got the speedster Jadon Blue, who
Mm-hmm.
runs easily in the 4.2s, right? And he's one of the best pass catchers that came out of this draft. Phenomenal hands, right? Then you have Phil Maffa, who's just your hammer. He's got that big frame. He can get downhill very quickly, and he's gonna be your goal line back. So, why put off the inevitable and go ahead and start your future now with these two guys at running back? Don't waste carries
Yeah.
on Miles Sanders or Javonte Williams. If you can get some sort of trade value back for them, great. If not, I mean, unfortunately, they just need to not hog up the touches there.
And I'll tell you right now, I think that people are going to be. I think once they see Phil Maffa touch the ball, it's going to be like he's a bruiser. Okay, this dude is a bruiser, and then you get Jadon Blue. He is so shifty. This dude goes extra for the first down. He will extend his body, contort his torso. Like he will do things to make sure that he's a great pass catcher. So these things with these two young kids, I'm telling you, just like what I just think by the end of the season, these two guys are your 1-2 punch. I just don't have any faith in these two veteran signings. I don't know what the Cowboys were thinking when they did it. Maybe they just needed bodies. That's
I
just
mean, the
my
draft's
opinion.
not always guaranteed, so you want to make sure you have those guys before.
True story.
Plans might not go according, as you plan it, but
And it was cheap, right? So there you
yeah,
go.
But I mean, yeah, again, another team that doesn't have too many camp battles, but it has some interesting kind of season-long implications with
Yeah.
these battles, right? So you got the battle between Parsons and Jerry Jones. You got the running back room battle, right? And I like a lot of what they've done on this offensive line.
Yeah.
He's taking Tyler Booker in the first round at right guard. He's a mauler, great pick to kind of make sure they fill that void left by Zach Martin.
Mm-hmm.
Is he going to live up to Zach Martin's Hall of Fame status? I don't know. You'd hope so, but kid can play, so you want to give him that chance. Yeah, Cooper Beebe in the middle, Tyler Smith, your first round pick from 2022.
Yeah, both of those guys are doing exceptional in that area. So
yeah, I mean, and unfortunately, Tyler Guyton went down with an injury, their left tackle. So hopefully he can get healthy and get back on the field quick. And then Terrence Steele, I mean, they got to find a replacement for him. I'm sure there's a right tackle with the first name Tyler that they can complete
I'm pretty sure
this all Tyler team on the offensive line, right? And maybe Cooper Beebe. Maybe he changes his name to Tyler Beebe.
I mean,
you never know.
Look, his name does start with a T, though.
Yeah, but I mean, have you ever seen a team with this many guys in the starting role with the same first name? It's just a weird, interesting fact.
But I'll give you this: you got TS for Terrence Steele, TS for Tyler Smith, TB for Tyler Booker, CB for Cooper Beebe, and then another TG for Tyler Guyton. So they're keeping it close to home, man. They're not shying too far away in the alphabet either. So
Yeah,
and shout outs to them.
Yeah. Hey, what are your thoughts on this receiving core outside of CeeDee Lamb? I mean, we know that he's one of the top receivers in the league, but
look, I'm gonna tell you right now, we can say I think it's deep. I think it's deep. Okay. CeeDee Lamb to the side. Jalen Tolbert still a problem. Turpin, extreme problem with his speed. George Pickens, you're going to put him up against a cornerback too. It's dangerous.
Poison. You want
it's
Lamb
dangerous.
or Pickens?
Yeah. And then in case something goes down and nothing happens, you still got Jonathan Mingo from the trade from Carolina. Not too bad. You have some depth in here. You have some depth with some speed. You have some depth with some experience. I do like what they have done here in this wide receiver room. They're not afraid to, remember when they did have CeeDee Lamb and Amari Cooper, right? Was it CeeDee Lamb and Amari Cooper?
I think they played together for maybe a year or so.
Yeah, and it's like they seem to always have these duos for short periods of time, and I think it's because they understand what they have and what they're trying to do. So, and then they'll draft somebody else. You know what I mean? They made sure that Amari Cooper was not leaving until CeeDee Lamb got kind of like a full year in and stuff. And George Pickens right now, this is kind of what they're doing. George Pickens, what he wants to get paid. They're not going to pay him. I don't think he's going to be sitting there for that long.
You don't think Pickens signs an extension with them?
No.
So you think this is just a 1-year rental and that's done?
Yeah.
Because this is last year's deal.
I know.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think after the season they might get an extension done, but it'll probably be at the beginning of the season next year. Jerry Jones has to get his free marketing.
How Cowboys would it be if they paid Pickens before Micah Parsons? It's not gonna happen. I know it's not.
I highly doubt that, but yeah, no, we all know
it is Jerry Jones.
Parsons will get paid the morning of September 4th, right a few hours before kickoff. They'll get the deal done, and everyone's like, "Oh, we signed Parsons. This mega deal. It's done." They did the same thing last year with Dak and CD. Like Jerry Jones, we know your game. Quit playing.
Word.
But yeah, I mean, I'm pretty excited for this Dallas roster. I think they can be good. I don't think Schottenheimer's getting too much love right now. I think he's a fine coach. His dad was a really great coach. He's been a decent OC for him. I think you just got to give him a chance.
Yeah, I hear you, but the Schottenheimer way is kind of just unless he pulls some stuff off. Like it was never a very and I'm not saying it has to be flashy, but it's kind of predictable what always happens, run, pass, first, second, third. Like it's always now if you can scheme it a different way, that's a different story. So we'll see what he does over there. Give him like you said, give him a chance as head coach. See how he pans out over there. Give him a new life. You know what I mean? Let's see what happens.
Let him forge his own path.
Right.
Like don't write this guy off like, oh, Jerry just wanted another puppet, blah, blah, blah. I hear a lot of noise about this, and I like Schottenheimer. I think he's going to be a decent coach. Is he going to be elite? No, but is he an upgrade over Mike McCarthy? I think maybe.
Well, I mean, everything's bigger in
We'll see.
Texas, including the rumors.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. But I mean, we gotta give some love to Dak. I feel like he's one of the most absolute hated players out there. Not only in Dallas, their own fans,
Yeah.
but in the national media. I feel like he doesn't get enough love.
Well, with that being said, let's see how much love you give him on this prediction. What do you say?
Man, hey, you don't even want to talk about him. See, this is how it goes.
Hey, I already know what he's capable of. It's if he can handle and stay on the field. That's the problem.
Yeah, we'll see. Do you mind maximizing it so I can really see it?
For you, anything.
Thanks, bro.
Yeah.
All right. So here is the record prediction for the 2025 Dallas Cowboys. So week 1, we know they are the season opening game. You have Dallas visiting Philadelphia. I think it's just going to be too much juice. So I believe the Philadelphia Eagles will win that home matchup. Week 2, you have the Giants visiting the Dallas. I think Giants are kind of way off from being a pretty good team. They're going to have a great defense, but I do think the Cowboys will be too much. So going to give me Dallas at home. Week 3, you have the Cowboys visiting the Chicago Bears. This is an interesting matchup. I don't know how the Bears will be. Caleb Williams hasn't looked great in camp, so going to give me Dallas. Give me Dak on the road there. Week 4, you have the Green Bay Packers visiting the Dallas Cowboys. I'm going to go with Dallas at home. I just think that that's two really good matchups. So we're going to roll with Dallas there. Week 5, you have the Cowboys visiting your New York Jets. This is going to be one of those weird games. I don't think the Cowboys will be able to contain Fields. I think this is where he really lets his legs run. So going to give me the Jets at home. Week 6, you have Dallas visiting Carolina. Dallas always seems to kind of struggle a little bit in Carolina. I know they had a good game there last year, but for some reason, the Panthers always get them trouble. But going to give me Dallas on the road. Week 7, you have Washington visiting the Dallas Cowboys. I think this one's going to be kind of a split series. So I'm going to go and just take the home team, the home field advantage. So give me Dallas at home. Week 8, you have the Cowboys visiting the Denver Broncos. I really like a lot of what Denver's done this year. They're going to have a great defense. So going to give me Denver at home. Week 9, you have the Cardinals visiting the Dallas Cowboys. Again, Kyler Murray loves to win in Texas, especially at AT&T Stadium. So going to give me the Cardinals on the road. Week 11, you have the Cowboys. Oh, you should have their Week 10 bye week. And then you have Week 11, Cowboys are visiting the Las Vegas Raiders. I like a lot of what Vegas has done, but I believe Dallas is the better team. So going to give me Dallas on the road. Week 12, this is going to be a pretty big one for the division. You have the Eagles visiting Dallas. It could go either way, but give me the Super Bowl champion guys right there. Week 13, you have the Kansas City Chiefs visiting the Dallas Cowboys. This is the Thanksgiving game. This is another tough one, but going to give me Kansas City on the road. I think Mahomes and company will be too much. You have the Cowboys visiting the Lions. At this point in the season, we're not too sure what the Lions will be. Brand new coaching staff and whatnot, but I do think that offense is going to be too much. So going to give me the Lions at home. Week 15, you have the Vikings visiting the Dallas Cowboys. I trust Dak and company more than I do JJ McCarthy. So going to give me Dallas at home. Week 16, you have the Los Angeles Chargers visiting the Dallas Cowboys. This one's tough. I think they're a really well coached team in LA, but going to give me Dallas. I think the home field advantage will go a long way. Week 17, you have the Cowboys visiting Washington. Like I said, I think they're going to split the series, so I'm going to give me Washington at home. And then week 18, you have the Cowboys visiting the New York Giants. I still, at this point in the season, I think the Cowboys are going to be too much. So going to give me Dallas winning on the road. And the Cowboys finished with a 9-8 record.
9-8 record, huh?
That's what it came out to.
Okay. All right. Well, we shall see. Can't wait to see what Dallas fans think of us with this one.
Oh yeah, this one's gonna be great.
Don't worry, Miami, anywhere in the South is gonna hate us this week, so we're good.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
South Beach,
We're not gonna be allowed
you
in
know,
Florida.
close to South America, they all hate us. It's,
Yeah,
you know.
I'm not even gonna be allowed in half of my fantasy drafts. All these Cowboys fans are gonna murder me here. But
I mean,
I think the Cowboys will be better than a lot of people are giving them credit for.
yeah, look, again, it's a fluky season. Anything can happen, right?
Yeah.
We've said this. We know this. We don't have all the answers. This is just quick, rapid. We're doing all 32 teams, which means if 32 times 17 each, it's a lot of games to predict. Of course, we're going to be wrong, but
Absolutely.
and
If
don't worry, you
if
guys.
we're correct, I mean, we might have to go to Vegas, dude.
Yeah, we'll be taking a quick trip. Speaking of, if you guys have not signed up, okay, go to Full Time Fantasy Vegas Fantasy Football League, which we are still going to plan for our fantasy football draft and everything as well. So, but we had a great time. Me and Whisk, we came in first in our league, 9th out of 1,140 people. Took home a bag of $2,700 and used that for our top dog coverage streamline. And yeah, we started a business out of it. So if we could do it, you guys can do it. Sign up, go to fulltimefantasy.com and Scott Atkins, shout out to him. He's goat over there, man. Yeah, man. So, but that's pretty much it for today. I mean, if you guys haven't already, follow us at Top Dog Coverage on YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram. Tell us your stories. Tell us your actually let us know if you guys have any fantasy football questions. Okay, so you guys can hit us up at topdogcoverage@gmail.com. That's topdagcoverage@gmail.com. So that way you guys can stay connected. Swipe up, hit those star buttons, leave the comments, let us know, get us in the algorithm, and hit that subscribe button on YouTube. Other than that, we love you guys. We hope you guys have a great weekend, and we out. Peace.